Hello, everyone, and welcome to just outside the entrance to the Titanic exhibit at the beautiful Union Station. I'm Joel Jensen, and joining us is Kansas Representative Mike Kiegerl. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Let's talk about autism. And I would like for you to start it out by sharing what you told me off camera, and that was how you became passionate about children's issues.
Well, for six years ago, I was appointed as chairman of Children's Issues Committee, and it was a rotating chairmanship. 1 year the Senate chaired, 1 year the House chaired, and now we have, as of last session, a permanent committee, which I chair in the House. And I've been dealing with autism for these last 6 years, and I've seen the heartache, the problem, and I wanted to contribute to some of the solutions. And it's been a struggle. We've done some good work this year. I'm not totally satisfied, but we've made progress.
Share some highlights.
First of all, perhaps it would be helpful to explain what autism is, because autism is a medical condition which is very serious and which cannot be cured yet, but it is treatable. And I had a KU professor come before my committee to show what can be done. There are now 1 in 88 children are diagnosed with autism, mostly boys, 4 boys for every girl. And she documented the treatment of one little 3-year-old boy. He was in a fetal position. He could not be touched. He would scream. He could not communicate. He would hurt himself by hitting his head against a wall. And 3 years later, after intense intervention, he could go to school without even having to go to special ed classes. He's actually a very bright young man. He's doing well, and he will become a contributing citizen, having a job later on. So you can salvage these kids. And 50% of children who get this intervention will actually go and become salvaged, so to speak. 25% will do well enough to go to school with special education requirements, and sadly the other 25% will become institutionalized in the long term. There's no help. And
so the legislation helps these kids how?
So the question is, if this is so, why haven't we done anything? Well, it's money. The cost can run up to $75,000 a year. The average cost is about $25,000. And we've had no insurance. You see, the insurance companies were fighting us. They didn't want to cover this. And insurance companies run on the law of large numbers, which means we spread the cost across all the contracts that are out there. In Kansas, we have 720,000 health insurance contracts in force, and it would cost each of us 30 cents a month, $3.60 a year in additional costs to cover these kids. And this is what we've done this year, but it took 3 years to get this bill passed. The insurance lobby was really adamantly against it, and there were a lot of people in the legislature who said mandates are bad. You know, when you don't have autism, you don't have an autistic child, why should you pay for it? This is the idea.
It was such a delight to have you here. We appreciate it. You'll have to come back.
I certainly will. It'll be my pleasure.
All right. Thank you. That's all the time we have for this edition of Newsmakers.